Other schools are just not offering the level.
No.
And I need them to elevate to the level if you're going to tell me that your school is better than going to community college or your degree is worth more.
People are like, oh, you go to ACC? And I'm like,
Yeah, you're
I go to
welcome.
ACC.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have nothing on me compared to where you're going to.
Welcome back to Kickin with Katelyn.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Kickin' It with Katelyn. Today, I am here with none other than Garrett.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. Look at Garrett. Everyone taking their greatness. Okay, I've been wanting Garrett to be on the show for quite some time. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that my show is professional enough to have their presence.
Please.
So today we are going to be talking about community college. What are our credentials, Garrett?
I have actually attended multiple community colleges. We are both in the same program together. I've done multiple different groups within community college atmospheres, whether they're clubs or whatever. So we've been around the block for a second.
No, this is so true. But I mean, like, whenever I think of you, I'm like, oh my gosh, they know so much.
I just love doing stuff. Like, I'm one of those people that if it is an experience I can learn, or if it's something I can just deep dive into, absolutely am I going to give it my time. Absolutely.
And I think that's what like makes me gravitate towards you. Not only visually are you interesting, but also like personality wise. Sorry, let me just hop off Garrett real quick. But my credentials, we currently do go to the same community college, Austin Community College. We're studying RTF right now. Mm-hmm. I also double major in streaming, television, and broadcast production, but we met on that side for podcasting. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that in the next episode, but I want to know your initial thoughts about your first time going to community college.
My first time going to community college, I started going to school a little bit later. Mm-hmm. I tried to go to a major university first, actually, and failed. My first semester, I was doing a career and it was in my way. So I had a failed semester at a major university. And then I was like, I just want to learn things. I don't want to have to be like, this is my degree and this is what my career will be. Yeah. I just want to learn things. And I went to this hunk-ba-dunk little community college, and they have multiple like locations, but they're not the most well-funded. And I did just that. I explored. I did interior design. I did German, like for some reason, did printmaking. I did art, like general art studies. And then we moved to Austin. This was in St. Louis. And we moved to Austin. And I was in that like, okay, what do I want to kind of do? I was getting the end of a career where I was getting ready to retire, but I still wanted to find interests. Yeah. And so Austin Community College really was like my first deep dive into, I'm going to take this more seriously. I'm going to be a businesswoman about this and see what I'm going to do. And so I started in fashion, and the fashion program is so difficult. It's so hard on the body. It's hard mentally. You're actually in a basement, so you have no windows anywhere.
Oh, no.
You have only fluorescent lighting, and you're bent over all the time. And so I was like, I don't know about this. So I took a podcasting class for fun. Purely out of like, oh, this will be just a fun class. It wasn't even an elective that would have counted. And fell in love. Our teacher, Chris, that runs the whole program, he gives us so much freedom, I think, and that's why I really like the program. So my first walk into community college was like, what do I want to do? Because there's so much stuff you can do.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like there is so much like emphasis like on society to be like, oh, you need to go to a big university. Yeah. Community college is for people who are not even going to graduate. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why it's so negative.
It also saves you so much money.
That's what I'm saying.
So much money. I had somebody in a club that I was in that had wealthy parents, had a wealthy lifestyle, literally wore like a boating outfit every day, but went to ACC because they could get almost their whole degree finished and then finish it at UT within like a year.
Oh,
and
that's so nice.
They had a really good credentials already going into UT, and then they saved all that money not having to pay UT money. Right. And having a UT degree within like 2 semesters.
And
Why
to
not?
me, that's like big brain activity.
Absolutely. Why not? Like, you have to think about 10 steps past your future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you're going to class right now, but like in 2 years, are we still in class and are we getting a teaching degree to go with what we learn? Or am I saving $10,000 because I'm not trying to stay in a dorm somewhere just for the, ooh, I'm in a dorm. Ooh, like, oh my God, this is a tangent. But the sorority girls that make TikToks and all those crazy videos, I don't care that you're wearing a $5,000 bracelet.
Right.
Because you look like every other girl in this situation.
Clock it.
And I think a lot of schools are like that. And community college offers so much variety into like just testing the waters.
Mm-hmm.
And you can because you can afford it. And our school, especially, they have programs that help feed you. They've got groceries. There's a grocery store at multiple campuses. If you want fresh vegetables, every, I think, Tuesday and like Thursday, all the ag tech people get all their like vegetables together and you can just get boxes of vegetables. They have funding for like first year students, students from immigrant families. Like our school is like, here's some money, just come.
No, literally. I mean, you are a well of knowledge and you always inform me on things that I didn't know exist. But like I already knew our school was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough time for everyone right now,
Yeah.
I think. And, we received an emails.
They're the dean. Yeah.
Yes. They were saying like, if ICE comes in here, like we will notify you.
Yeah.
You will be made aware ahead of time. These other universities, they're like opening the door. They're like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because they just want your money.
Mm-hmm.
But like at ACC, they genuinely want you to succeed.
Yeah.
They are giving you all the resources that you need, not only for your education, but also your personal life as
Yep.
well. They're
They're on it. Like I
Literally.
have like, I think like 2.5 semesters to go.
Mhm.
And I already have job offers or I already have opportunities within the
Yes.
school. Like, do I need to be a TA? No. Am I gonna? Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm fascinated by what it is to be a TA. Not because I think I'm going to be great at it.
Mm-hmm.
Will I be? Yes.
Absolutely. We know that.
However, but the opportunities they give to students, their teachers are still actively in the industries. So they
Mm-hmm.
are top of the line in knowing what is the best systems and programs, ways of even speaking professionally. Versus
Ooh.
a lot of major
Mhm.
universities, they wrote a book 20 years ago and they're still surviving off their own book from 20 years ago. That's not the vibe.
No,
That's not the fantasy.
it's not.
so.
And I don't feel like sounds terrible. I don't feel like they're qualified the way our professors are.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Well, like that's another thing. Our school, we are very lucky to have a very nice couple studios to use
Mm-hmm.
with professional grade broadcasting cameras. There's a whole other area with really high level cameras. And people come in when we go to interview them for like our broadcasting class. We had Sandra Adair come in, who is the editor for Boyhood
Mm-hmm.
and a really accomplished woman in the industry. And she walked in and she was like, I have been to professional places in studios and nothing comes close to how on top of they are with ours. And we've got professional lighting. You learn that professional lighting. You learn professional broadcasting cameras versus something that could literally be a vlog camera that you're never going to be able to afford, but the school gives it to you just to play with.
Yeah.
We have a podcasting studio.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's not just a silent room on the side somewhere.
No.
Like, it's made for the podcasting program. So like, other schools are just not offering the level. And I
No.
need them to elevate to the level if you're going to tell me that your school is better than going to community college or your degree is worth more. Like, elevate yourself.
No, this is so true because it's like these colleges are established in the 1800s and this is
Great.
what we are prideful of. And I'm like, okay, but you're offering garbage
Tell me the quality.
and there's none.
Yeah.
That's why it's like it ends there. And it's like, well, we're this university. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to get the resources I need.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to learn what I need to because your professors don't know enough to provide me the information that I need to walk out of this classroom and be successful in the industry that I choose. I do feel like all of our classes, even if it's like something you don't think that it's going to be interesting to you, they all intertwine with each other so beautifully.
I was taking 2 classes at the same time and I had to drop one, unfortunately, because it was just, I was too busy, which the school is very facilitating to that, which is wild to me also. And I was learning 2 different ways to direct at the same time from 2 different classes, but I could use them intertwined between the classes, was learning how the cameras work. Everything was, I could have taken them side by side, but there was just slight differences where one focused more on lighting or one focused more on what's your voice and who are you kind of thing. So, and like one was just on video. And so like, though they were very different classes, I could have easily taken 3 or 4 at the same time, and the verbiage is the right way. The way that you're taking your steps is going to coordinate with another class. So like, I don't know, I'm into it. I'm into an organized quality, and that's what they have.
And people are like, oh, you go to ACC, and I'm like, yeah. I go to ACC.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have nothing on me compared to where you're going to. And that's not to say people are less than, but I'm like, they're coming at me with a big chest because they go to whatever and they're wasting their money, thousands of dollars. I could pay out of pocket for my semester at ACC. Yeah. And I have been, and it's like, okay, yeah, like that sucks, but it could suck so much more if you go somewhere else.
I think that also like, that mentality, why do you have it? It's never been proven. Like, you've never been able to prove it. Our teachers have us doing internships at high level, very connected, well-connected places, or they themselves have been well-connected, and they just want to share that with us. And I don't see UT students getting excited. I interned with 5 UT students. Nothing against UT. It's the only reference I really have from outside Texas. But they were so like kind of thrown off when I'd be like, oh, we have a media club. And it's very chill and laid back. Katelyn and I run it. You're welcome. You're welcome. But they were kind of like, oh, well, we have like a TV station. I was like, oh, well, we have PBS.
Yeah.
I like, cool. And so like, it was never competitive, but in a sense, it almost was, in the sense of, oh, you have this thing at your community college. That's cute. But like, no, I'm sorry. We're sponsored by Tesla at this like one part versus when your university, like Texas A&M, literally has a location in our campus connected to our school. When your school has to come to us as a community college, that speaks to our quality, that speaks to what we're giving. When your very 1800s school has to have a satellite at our school for your engineering program to succeed. Get on our level. Another point that ACC, especially as community college, does well is community a lot of the time.
Oh my gosh.
And we unfortunately are in the quiet introvert degree program where there's about 5 of us. Like there's like us, Zachary Dahl, and maybe like 2 or 3 other people that are vibrant personalities. Everybody else is so quiet, so like withdrawn, but we are given the opportunity, and the school provides us with funding to create networking, create community within all the media and stuff. And the school wants us to succeed, especially with student life. They're like, you did this wrong, but don't worry, we're going to take care of it. We're going to help you. We're going to handle it. I can't say that other students get that personalized attention for community and networking.
No,
that
I don't
we're
think
able
so.
to provide.
No, absolutely not. And like Austin, they say Austin is a big city. Once you meet a couple people, you know everyone.
You've met everyone, yeah.
No, literally. And I'm like, okay, so like if we can really get intertwined with UT, then we're just going to go further and further. Because realistically, Austin is a creative hub.
Absolutely.
We should all be knowing each other, and we should all be working with each other.
There's a reason we have South by Southwest. There's the reason we have such successful music festival like ACL. People don't realize that is connected to Hulu. We got to go on our school took us, which no other school gets to do. We got to do ACL University, which they brought university students to the behind the scenes. So I got to watch the talent of ACL get interviewed. I got to sit in the Hulu truck and watch them live switch and color grade right there as it has like a 3-second delay onto live television.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Wild. And that's here based in Austin. Our school is reaching out to those places. I have 2 different teachers that they're doing nothing the week of South by Southwest because usually it's during our spring break, but it's not. because so many students in my classes are hooked up through South by Southwest to be part of the Doritos filming crew, blah, blah, blah. Or because there's so many good educational things that are, whether it's film, whether it's television or audio or anything, there's so much to learn. And teachers are like, bye, I'm taking a break because you're going to get so much exposure I can't give you.
Yeah.
So like, enjoy. And I don't see other teachers doing that.
And I think it's really interesting whenever like I take some regular, like, what is it, general education courses.
Oh God, I have this coming up.
Yeah, no, it's very different. The more I take different classes outside of RTF, I'm so much more appreciative of our professors because they genuinely want us to do well.
Yeah.
And some people at our school don't take our program serious because they don't think it's a real film program. But the people that you meet and the stuff that you do at ACC, it's more next level than the thing that you're going to move on to be next level is. And I don't think people realize that. Like you mentioned, all of our professors know people and they hook us up with jobs. Like I recently got hooked up with like 2 different jobs that are paid that I will probably work like until they don't want me anymore.
Yeah.
But
they're fascinating things.
Yes.
They're cool jobs. It's not like, oh, I'm doing an entry level data entry job with an engineering degree. Absolutely
boring.
not. Absolutely not.
No boring experiences are going to be lined up our way. And I just think that people need to give community college a chance.
Absolutely.
Because it's not degrading. I feel so much more special there than I would anywhere else. And it hurts my heart to have to transfer because I want to teach, so I need to get my master's. And unfortunately, ACC doesn't offer a master's program.
That is the one thing about community colleges that is like a bummer.
Yeah.
That's only certain programs get a bachelor's program, or only certain ones have an easier road forward.
Yeah.
But like a lot, like myself, I think teaching would be cool and fun, but I'm also old now. And I'm like, I can't do that much school. And so for somebody like me, I could finish a community college degree, get my associates, and go into a well-paying or well-connected career right off the bat.
Yeah.
I can't say that to any other school because I've not been there. But I know the other community college I've been at, probably not. But they had teachers that were still the same. They were actively doing it. And if you're not actively doing it, you could just be throwing a book at me.
It's like asking us to teach math.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Girl, we haven't taken math in years.
No. I have a math class coming up in the summer, and I sent a thing to my advisor. I was like, I have not taken a math class in 17 years. And he was like, oh, I feel bad for you, however. And so we got into a math class that is like living math kind of thing. So you use math in everyday life. It's not like you bought 600 oranges, find the square root of like the sky is blue. Like I'm not here for none of that.
No.
Show me the bare basics of how to do my taxes.
Yeah.
Show me how to budget. Show me how to do fractions and stuff like that in a quick, easy way I can do it while I'm doing a recipe that's asking for something silly. Like,
oh, I like that.
And it's about
stuff you should have learned.
Yeah. Making like math accessible, especially to degrees that are not, our degree does not require really math. We memorize numbers, but it's because that's what the number is set to. It's not, I'm trying to divide or do nothing.
No.
It's like, hit it at this many hertz. Great.
Nobody's and lighting is the only thing with numbers.
But it's like more memorizing like your degrees.
Yeah.
You're done and you're good.
Right.
So having to take general ed, scary.
It is.
An English class, I've not taken an English class in probably 20 years.
For those who are out there who are considering community college versus a university, what would you advise them?
I advise at least going to community college for at least 2 semesters. It gets you into the regiment, like what it requires to take your classes, be responsible for yourself. Because I don't think a lot of people realize when you're going to high school, you got to get up to go to the bus stop, eat food or whatever. But like when you make your own schedule and you have to find 5 minutes to eat a pretzel because you accidentally overdid your schedule the first semester. But I think the first 2 semesters really open up your eyes to the possibility of what you can learn. But it also can show you if you're really in love with what you want to do. Because you can chase money, but like if you have to go into work every single day because your parents told you to be a doctor and you hate blood and you're squeamish,
Yeah.
what a terrible job. If you hate sitting there and just doing analytical studies like a lot of engineering kind of does, you are going to be burnt out so fast. And I think that 2-semester rule really opens up to, at a community college, opens you up to affordability, adventure. You can really take a class just for fun. And it could be something that is like pottery, something
Yeah.
that's not in your degree and accidentally stumble upon passions.
I love that.
Yeah. And then you can continue school after that. You kind of know the system a little bit better and you may be ready to transfer at that point. And the schools are set up to help you transfer. And sometimes you can save money in those transfers because the schools are going to have scholarships specifically for transfer students.
Yes.
So you're basically saving money just to see how school works for you and how your schedule works. Then you're saving money going to this big name school if that's really the prestige you have to have. Because at the end of the day, if I'm sitting with my associate's degree next to somebody that has their master's, but we're both doing the same editing, we're both doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Great. But in those 2 semesters, I found that I loved it. And you put yourself through school just to hate what you're going to do every day.
I think you're making amazing points. I mean, there's less of a risk financially for you to try things out, and you should try things out. Don't be doing whatever your parents suggest you to do or they expect you to do.
Yeah.
It's literally your life, and
This sets your course. This sets like
It
what you're going to be
does.
making for money. The people you're going to you hang out with the people that you work with more than you normally hang out with your family. And so getting to know an environment before you have to go in that environment, and you also have smaller class sizes.
oh, I love that.
Love the smaller class sizes. Like I can walk into a class of like 15 people and like I have a math class that has, I think, 45 people in it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, we're so
That's
spoiled. I'm like, oh
wild
my
to me.
gosh.
That's wild to me. And luckily it's like mostly like a virtual class.
Okay.
But like I could never sit down in a hall of people with how we have to learn and how we have to actually roll cameras and do takes and like
Yeah.
actually produce videos and stuff. We could never do that with a class of 40 something
No.
people or like a huge hall of people. Like it's not for me. And you can learn your learning style through that, like going to community college.
Yeah, exactly. And the smaller class sizes really do make a difference because it's also networking as well. The mindset that people have at community college is also very different from that of the mindset at those who are going to universities.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot more humble. We're a lot more level-headed. We know what we want and we chose to be there.
Yeah.
So it makes it so much more enjoyable for everyone. And I feel like had I gone to a university, I would not be where I'm at right now. And I wouldn't feel a certain way of how my future is going to look.
Yeah.
Like,
where would this podcast be without Chris's podcast program
it wouldn't.
getting you to where
It just wouldn't. I wouldn't have taken a creative route just because I feel like me personally, when I was younger when I was freshly out of high school, I was not going to do this.
Yeah.
And for me to now be here and think back on that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see a life where I don't fall back into this. And I don't think that I would have been able to do this if I knew how expensive it was going to be and potentially not work out.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
I feel that. I completely agree. Like being able to, it just goes back to being able to like fall in love with what you're doing and giving yourself the time to do it.
Yeah.
Community college does that. But like also a university, you're chasing a degree where I think you're set up with so much access at a community college to chase a career.
Yes.
Which is like, I think people don't see the difference in that. They're like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. But the degree is so important in that, I only say engineers because it's the most, like,
It's
has
most sought
the
out.
most people in
Yeah.
it. And like, I have, my husband is in the tech world. He is an engineer. And they're getting laid off left and right. And so like, I just see all of these students that are like, I'm going to be an engineer because there's money in it. There's got to be a job for there to be money in it.
Right.
And a really nice thing that our school also does is they give you this is what people are making at this point right now. And they're not playing games of like, oh, you're going to be making $150,000.
No, they're not feeding you lies.
A nurse or something.
Yeah.
Like, they're very like, this is the fluctuation over the last 5 years. This is what we're looking at in the next 5 years with how the economy is and everything. So instead of just test scores and degrees, you're looking at a career. You're looking at what you want to be when you grow up. So
yeah. That part. So if we haven't sold you on community college already, have you even been listening? I think that's going to be it for today's episode. Honestly, like I said, how could you not go to community college after this? This is not a paid advertisement, even though it should be.
Yeah.
At this point. Garrett, where can the people find you at?
You can find me at creativelymusing.com. I'm a full-time artist, and I also podcast on and off. So you can find me everywhere under Creatively Musing.
Y'all know where to find me on TikTok and Instagram at kickinitw.Katelyn. And I want you guys to comment where you currently go to school at, if you do go to school. I don't think I have much more to say for this episode other than go to community college.
Give it a try.
Take the chance. And it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
There is no age limit for school and education. We're constantly going to be learning. Choose to do it the fun way. And that's going to be it for us today, guys. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.